Climb to Glory. My name is Chaplain Jason Hessling. I am the Command Chaplain for 10th Mountain Division. Wanted to spend a moment or two talking to you about family reintegration and what to expect and how to plan for your soldier as they are ready to come home. Reunion and reintegration can be a really exciting time, but it can also be a time of some anxiety or concern or worry. So as we begin, what's one word, what's one feeling that describes how you are feeling as your soldier is getting ready to return home? Hang on to that. The key to a good reintegration is always expectations, making sure that we have good, realistic expectations that can actually be attained. It's easy to get excited. It's easy to make all kinds of great plans, but being prepared and having a good vision, that is always the key to success. So as you look at the stages of reunion and reintegration, right now we are here, just left of that second red line. Your soldier is just about to get on the plane. They're on their way home, or perhaps they've already arrived home and you're in the first couple of days of reintegration. There is a honeymoon that happens upon reunion. There is a high tolerance for that difference that comes between the ideal that we have set up in our mind about what a reunion and reintegration looks like and the reality that is facing us on the ground. Sooner or later, we move into that third stage of realizing changes, where that tolerance for the difference between the real that we're facing every day and the ideal that we have pictured in our mind cannot be ignored any longer. We start to notice differences or unresolved issues or little frictions and problems that just keep coming up and we cannot ignore any longer. The important thing here is that instead of dwelling on those differences, instead of dwelling on those problems and unresolved issues, to negotiate, to communicate, to adjust, to work together as a team in order to solve those issues, to attack those issues head on. That will help us to find that new normal, a stable and enjoyable battle rhythm and family routine together. Some of the challenges and changes that have happened during this deployment have happened with the family. Those you can see in block number 1. Some of the changes have happened with the soldier who's been deployed and now is coming home. You can see those changes in block number 2. In block 1, some of those family changes that the soldier and the family are going to have to try to negotiate are shifts in roles and responsibilities. Listen, the way that you have been running the household back at Fort Drum or Fort Polk works. You've been managing the house on your own for 6, 7, maybe 9 months. And the way that it works. And now there's this new person that is coming into the mix and can sometimes be disrupting the patterns and the routines and the battle rhythm that you have set up. And that is okay. The important thing here is to provide space for your soldier as they're coming home, and then reintegrate them into those roles and responsibilities as you guys are able to, slowly and with intentionality. Don't throw everything on your soldier as soon as they walk in the door, but at the same time, don't hold on everything to yourself, because you've got another set of hands that are able to help you with those household responsibilities. Your soldier, though, may also be facing some loss of mission clarity or loss of purpose. This is because when we're deployed, we are 100% focused and driven towards a single goal. We're a meter wide and a mile deep. But we know that home station is almost just the opposite. It's a mile wide and sometimes only a meter deep. There's sometimes lots of things that are happening all at the same time. Multitasking is not just a nice thing to have, it is a requirement for families to function well. So your soldier may be struggling with that lack of clear mission, or feel overwhelmed with all the multitasking that is being demanded of them. The important thing here is to, again, go slow. Allow that soldier to reintegrate and join your battle rhythm again without overwhelming them in the process. The key to this is always active listening. Listening by paying full attention to the person that you are talking to without interrupting, without showing or with showing understanding, without judgment. So this is very different from listening to respond. Listening to respond means it's something that we always do and oftentimes do. Listening to respond is where I am in conversation with somebody and I may be engaged physically with that person, but my brain is thinking about my next response. That next time that I will have a chance to talk, formulating my response, formulating the next thing that I'm going to say. It means that the majority of my attention, my mind, is not focused on hearing what that person says, but instead is focused on what I want to say and what I want to communicate. Active listening is placing all of my attention, all of my focus on the other person so that I can really understand and hear what that person is trying to communicate. We do that through good eye contact, body language, and reflecting back. What I hear you saying is, maybe not in those words, but confirming that you have received the message correctly and that you are trying to understand the viewpoint of that other person before you start voicing your own viewpoint. Kids are some of the most dynamic portions or aspects of reintegration. These are exciting times. But you have to expect that transition can sometimes throw a child into all kinds of different emotional states. Kids are going to follow the emotional tone of the non-deployed parent. So as the home station parent, it's your responsibility. You need to be positive. You need to be affectionate. You need to be encouraging of your spouse or your significant other and of your children. Kids need to have that space to warm up. And it's going to depend a lot of times on the child's age. A newborn or an infant, somebody who is under 2 years old, they may sometimes be scared or concerned, or maybe even pull back away from the deployed soldier who is coming home. And this is oftentimes because that soldier has been gone. That parent has been missing for 9 months out of the 12 months that they've been alive. They don't know them yet. They're a stranger yet. So they need to be introduced slowly, carefully, and let the child, come to that parent and get comfortable with them being around the house. Toddlers and school-aged kids sometimes are so excited, they're giddy, they can't stop, moving around. Their words get all jumbled, and everything comes out in a confused, blurb all at once. Let that happen. That is a normal thing. Sometimes, especially those school-aged kids, can become very clingy and never want to leave that deployed soldier once they come home. Teenagers, well, teenagers are teenagers. Teenagers are sometimes moody, sometimes they isolate, sometimes they try to act like mom or dad coming home is no big deal. Don't fall for it. Don't buy it. I guarantee you, your teenager is thrilled that mom or dad is back home and in the house again. They may shrug their shoulders and say, but inside they are so happy that they are home. They just, teenagers are teenagers, and they just express that in a way that sometimes is unexpected. The bottom line here is that every child is unique. However they respond to your spouse being home, however they respond to your soldier being home, is normal. Let that happen and give them time to re-engage on their schedule and at their pace. Go slow. Don't force that kind of reunion. One way to kind of help with this is for the deployed parent to join their battle rhythm, match the child's and the family's routines, instead of forcing the family to adopt to the soldier's battle rhythm. Duct tape parenting is another great way to help cement that relationship once again with those children and to reconnect. Duct tape stands for dedicated, uninterrupted child time. So uh, that deployed spouse spend one-on-one time with each child as they are reintegrating and getting reestablished in the family. Maybe the first night that the parent is home, the oldest daughter and the deployed spouse head out on a hike together and spend an hours in the trails. Maybe the second night, the same deployed soldier and the middle son go out on a long bike ride together. Maybe that last night, that third night, the deployed soldier and the baby girl sit down on the couch and they watch her favorite cartoon. Whatever duct tape parenting looks like, go for it. Just make sure that it is one-on-one time from that deployed spouse to that child. It'll help them to reconnect. Stress is always going to be there. Some of the common triggers that we oftentimes see in a reunion and reintegration are these: lack of structure, sometimes feeling misunderstood, or stress from work or family or relationships or money. These are normal and common. When you feel these stresses coming on, be intentional about using your best techniques for managing that stress. A deep breathing exercise oftentimes is really helpful. Work that stress out at the gym. Lifting weights, getting on the treadmill, running the trails, go to a yoga class, whatever it is that really helps you to unwind and physically express that stress and get it out of your system. Make sure you're doing that. Journaling is a great way to pour out all those emotions and feelings and frustrations out on a piece of paper. Just get it out of there, so that it just gets out of you, and you can then dump it and focus on other things. And try to limit the news and social media, especially doom scrolling. This is something I'm really good at, just kind of scrolling through Twitter or scrolling through Instagram or scrolling through TikTok or whatever is popular nowadays. Spend that time together, reconnecting to family instead of spending it on your phone or on social media. Again, temper your expectations. The very first point I made, that realistic expectations are the key. I guarantee you, no matter what's going to happen in the next 5 weeks, it is not going to be perfect. And that's okay. So focus on the positives. Celebrate before you criticize, and try to not overschedule. Oftentimes people come home and they think that they need to catch up on all the fun that they missed. No, you don't. All you're going to do if you schedule too much into your days is you're going to have burnout. So go easy, go slow, use teamwork over trying to control each other. What doesn't help and what you really want to avoid is isolating, clamming up, pulling away from everybody. And this could be even, sitting in a crowded room where everyone is talking and conversing and reconnecting, but you're on your phone playing a video game, or you're on the Xbox playing a video game, and you're not really engaged with the rest of your family or the rest of the crowd. So don't isolate. Avoid abusing alcohol or drugs. Don't drink up and don't shoot up. Watch and be careful for physical and verbal abuse. Don't beat each other up. You don't need to do that. You're only hurting yourself, and you're hurting the very people that you love the most. And don't cash out. Oftentimes, deployments are a time when our expenses have dropped, and so soldiers are able to save a good deal of money. Avoid those big, unnecessary, expensive purchases, because even though you may want to do XYZ, your bank may not be ready to afford it. As military families, as soldiers, we're always going to take care of those around us, and we're always going to be a good battle buddy and a good family to others. So watch out for those in your circle. Engage and assess, identify the resources that are available to help, and always try to be there to support those that need it. Remember, there's great strength in asking for help. It's not a weakness, it's a great strength. For single soldiers, it can be just as hard as it can be with families sometimes. So single soldiers need to remember that their social circles, their friends groups have also changed. They have continued to do things while that soldier has been away, and they have formed new relationships and new dynamics as well. So reintegrating yourself into that can sometimes be a little awkward, and that is all right. Understand that post-deployment stress is normal. Don't ignore it. Instead, try to stay connected. At this point, I want you to take out your phones and I want you to scan this QR code. This will lead you to the Garrison Mountain Cares program. This is an incredible resource that we have here at Fort Drum and down at Fort Polk. It is the number of counselors and outreach programs and resources that we have available to us is phenomenal. So make sure that you are able to access those resources, that you know what they are. Take this QR code, go to the website and bookmark it. Make sure that you have it available on your phone no matter where you are. If it's not for you, it might be something that a friend of yours might need and might benefit from. So it's always better to have the resource available and never have to use it than it is to need the resource and have to go out and find it in the midst of a crisis. And lastly, we're going to ask you to take a quick survey. So take your phones out again and scan this QR code. Simply answer some of the questions that will help us to identify kind of see where you're at in terms of being ready for that reintegration back home. At the bottom of the page, there will be a question. Do you want a chaplain to reach out to you? This is a great way for you to identify yourself and let a chaplain reach out to you so that they can give you support and encouragement, prayer, and help you with some of the resources that might be of benefit. Welcome home. It is great to have everyone once again back on base, to have soldiers and families once again reunited. God bless you. Stay strong and climb to glory.